this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So we are here for another one of our mass making sessions. We are up to week number 173, would you believe? So for anyone who doesn't watch my channel, we are doing reruns. So we're rerunning week number 73, week number 173. And what we are making today is self-tucking envelopes. So what I am going to be using is you're going to need some paper that's not too thick. So I've got a bunch of printables here. Now I know I say this all the time. I'm just using printables because that's what I've got most of these days. Obviously you do not have to use printables. You could use, you know, book page, sheet music, you know, scrapbook paper, anything you like. The only thing that I would say is you probably don't want to use anything too thick. So I've got a bunch of printables printed on. Now mine is 102 GSM. I think your average printable paper is, I think 70 GSM. I could be wrong, it could be 80. But that's your kind of normal, you know, range for photocopy paper. Or, yeah, photocopying paper, you know, printing paper. Okay, so I've got those. Now I've also got here a 6x6 paper pad. Now this is a paper pad by Pramita and this one is quite thick. I'm just trying to see whether I can see a GSM on here. I can't. No, I can't. So I think these are actually going to be a bit too thick. So if I just kind of tear it out to show you. Can you see it is, you know, it's quite sturdy. I will try one on there, but I think, you know, we might come unstuck. So yeah, we'll just kind of see how we get on. But nonetheless, I might use this as a template to make my square shapes, if that makes sense, because I'm going to need square paper rather than long. And again, I haven't tried these on long paper, but I don't think they would work. So let's have a go. I'm going to take, oh, and what else will you need? Sorry, completely kind of thrown off today because I've got the dog here and she's wandering about and I can't now see where she's gone. So it's making me a little bit scatty. So I do apologise for that. So what else will you need? You will need some scissors. You'll need maybe a bone folder or your scissor handle. Either is absolutely fine. And that's kind of pretty much it. Now, aside from that, you may want to have some ink and a kind of blendy tool if you want to kind of blend your pieces. Maybe some coffee dye or something if you want to coffee dye the insides. And then anything to decorate up if you wish to. And you may also want to have a corner rounder just to round like the flap parts of the envelope. But I think that's pretty much all we're going to need. So I'm going to cut this bit here off of this sheet of 6x6 paper. Okay, so we've now got, you know, a square piece. Now what you're going to do to start these off is you're going to fold them. Oh, and the only other thing, sorry, is you may like to have double-sided paper. And that's what I say about either coffee dyeing or having the ink. Only because these are going to be completely openable. So obviously if it's just white on the inside, which a couple of my sheets of paper are, you know, that's going to be pretty boring when you open them out. So when I come to use them, you know, I would either coffee dye these or ink them. I wouldn't leave them just white, just because, you know, that's kind of boring. Right, okay, so you're going to take your paper. Now what you're going to do first of all is you're going to fold it in half on the diagonal line. Okay, so folding it in half along the diagonal. Now this is where you're going to need either your bone folder or your scissor handle. I'm using my scissor handles and that's, you know, more than fine. Then you're going to open it back out like that and you're going to fold this fold, i.e., you know, the one that's opposite the fold line on the diagonal. You're going to fold it up to that diagonal line. Okay, so literally folding that up to that diagonal. So this is a 6x6 paper. Like I say, you want to have a square paper. You could use, of course, a, you know, an 8x8. I haven't tried it on a 12x12, but yeah, I mean, I would imagine it would work the same. You're just going to end up with obviously a bigger envelope. Then what you're going to do is once you've folded your triangle, you're going to then fold in again on that diagonal line. Okay, so you've got this kind of thing going on. Now what you're going to want to do is fold your sides in to make your kind of self-tucking part. Now, can you see here where you've got your fold? You're going to want to fold your edges in slightly over, so not flush with this edge, because if you do that, you're not going to have enough to be able to actually tuck them in. So you want to go over by just a little bit, you know, and when I say a little bit, let me show you how much I've kind of gone over. I mean, we really are talking, you know, a very small amount here. So, oh, I maybe have not gone over enough actually there. Yeah, let me try that again. So, yeah, like that, okay? So I've gone over by, you know, 1/4 centimetre, something like that. And then you're going to take your other one and you're going to want to fold it in again, sort of leaving the same amount. And actually, to be honest, I've mucked that up. So, yeah. I had noticed that in my first one, I did say about 1/2 centimetre. So, yeah, let's revert back to that. So, I was right, really, with my first one. You're going to want to go over about 1/2 centimetre. So, please ignore what I've just done. So, you're coming over about 1/2 centimetre in, like that, okay? And you're going to just fold that in, squish it down along those fold lines. Okay, and then what you've got is this little self-tucking bit where you can tuck those two flaps in on themselves, which how cool is that? And then you can obviously take your flap here, fold it down like that to form your kind of envelope shape, like that. Now this may or may not tuck in here as well. Okay, so you can also tuck that in, but you're going to have to be careful because you've got this weird thing going on in the corner. So what I think is better is actually just have it like that and, you know, use a paper clip to clip it down. Now you may want to then round your flap just like that, okay? And then you could obviously ink around, you know, just like the edges that are kind of like folded and show and, you know, what have you. So like that. And then, oops, a bit in here as well. And then obviously what you've got is you've got your envelope that folds over here. And like I say, you're going to then be able to paper clip that closed here. And then what you can do is then open the whole thing back out and you've got the whole of the inside there for journaling. So it's a good way of getting quite a bit of journaling space in a reasonably flat piece. So I'm just going around my folded edges here, just to kind of add a bit of emphasis with my ink. And again, that's just an optional step. Okay, so we go fold it in, fold it in, fold that in, fold that in, and then tuck these in on themselves there, and then bring this down. Now, like I say, this paper is slightly thicker, you know, so it's a little bit bulkier. I'm just going to have a sip of my tea. A little bit bulkier, obviously, than my copy paper here that I've got here to the side. But let's do another one in that. So I'm going to use this one here. So very pretty papers, aren't they? And this is Prima pad. Okay, let's just take that down like that. Actually, let me just tell you what this is actually called, because I know how you like to, you know what I've used. Prima, Nature Lover is called. Okay, so take your piece. Now I'm going to have my butterflies on the outside, I think, because that would look rather pretty. And yeah, going to fold it up here on the diagonal. So across on the diagonal, like that. Get my scissor handle or bone folder, squish it down. Okay, and then you're going to go up here, which, just thinking which way around. Yeah, you're going to go up here with your flap, or, you know, to form your kind of flap bit, to that diagonal line. Squish that in. Okay, bring your piece like that. And then take your sides in. Now this was where I went wrong before. So we're going to take them in over by about 1/2 centimetre. Okay, so you've got, you know, room for tucking is basically what you're doing. You're making room for your piece to tuck. If you don't kind of have enough of an overhang, you're not going to be able to tuck it in. And then when you do your other side, you've got kind of a guide because you want it to be looking, you know, more or less the same sort of distance, so they come up sort of a similar height. Okay. Now, obviously, there's no measuring or anything involved here. You're just judging by eye. Okay, and then you've got your little self-tuck there. Fold your flap down here, like that. And then we just squish that down across there. Okay, and then I'll just round my corner on my flap, or, you know, my edge on my flap, like that. And then you can obviously ink that up. Okay. Untuck that. Just do along that outside edge, like that. And then here, just going to open it up, do across these bits. And like I say, I mean, the inking's all kind of optional, but I just think it makes it look quite pretty. Oops, like that. Okay, across there, like that. And here, like that. Okay, so then you've got inking around all of your little edge pieces like that. Okay, so again, you've got your fold, this fold here, tuck it in, and then you can bring your flap down. So how cute are they? And then you just get a little paper clip, which I did have some here. Yep. And you just clip that down, and that's it. Your kind of self-closing envelope, or self-folding, self-tucking envelope. So let me just now have a sip of my tea. Okay, so let's make some now with the printables. Now, what I thought was we could either use the 6x6 as a template, or we could make some where we just fold it in. So to make a perfect square with your, you know, your rectangular paper, you fold in basically your piece of paper, actually strangely across that diagonal. So like that, going to meet on the other side, like that. Okay, and then you trim down on this edge point. So we just trim that down like that. Okie dokie. Like that. Okay, and then what you've got is a square piece of paper. So that's just a quick way to do that. Obviously that's not 6x6, that's more kind of probably, I don't know, 8x8 or 8.25, something like that. But it's a quick way of doing a square. Let me just quickly finish my tea. Okay, so we're then going to fold our envelope in. Now obviously we've already now formed our diagonal line, so we can fold our flap here up to that diagonal line, which was the line that we used to obviously, you know, make the square in the first place. Okay, fold it up there, and then we bring it in here. Obviously my measurements are slightly different now because my piece of paper is slightly bigger, but basically you're just going over enough, oops, so that you've got a bit of a, you know, bit of an overhang here with your two bits. So oops, let's just put that down there like that. Okay, oops, maybe that could go over slightly more. I mean, they're just, you know, a little bit fiddly to get them kind of lined up, you know, so they're pleasing to the eye basically, but you know, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then you can just tuck that in there, and then you've got your flap here, which folds down obviously like that. How gorgeous is that? Really, really, really lovely. So I'm just going to kind of do a mass make of these. So when I say that, I just mean like an assembly line thing. So what I will probably do is just take my papers and cut my squares first, and then do my folding and then my tucking, and you know, so as all the stages come together. And I will try and remember to tell you the papers that I'm using each time. So this one here is from the Purple Rain papers, digitals that are in my shop, obviously. So let's put these to one side now as we do them. Now I've also got some papers here which I had coffee dyed, and I've had them here drying on my hot glue gun. These were from a different mass make, and they were pieces that I never ended up finishing off, but they happen to be squares anyway. So I thought, well, they'll be quite handy because it will save me actually cutting the squares. So, right, I'll come back to those because they're still drying, like I say. Okay, let's take this piece. Now, as you can see, I've tried to cut this on my, print it, you know, borderless on my printer. My printer sometimes, you know, misbehaves, or perhaps, who knows, perhaps I didn't even set borderless. So I'll just trim that border off, and then we'll make our square. So yeah, let's just kind of relax now, have a nice time, and yeah, do some kind of assembly line style mass making. So I hope everybody's week has started out well, obviously, and I know I say this all the time, I film this on a Monday generally, ready to go out on the Tuesday for you guys. So yeah, for me it's Monday morning, my week has only just started. Okay, so let's take this here. This is from the Rutherford Grange papers. So again, just going to make my square like that. Okay. So what I might do is actually do all of this folding and then do all of the cutting. So, you know, really kind of assembly lining the process. So that's that one. Okay, I've got this one here. This I think is the Parisian Streets printable. Again, I've not printed it borderless, which is very annoying. So yeah, I'm filming this on the Monday morning. So how's my week been so far? Obviously we're very early days. We're just about an hour and a half into my actual week. So yeah, I've been to the gym this morning. So yeah, I'm not an hour and a half in. Obviously I've been up for hours, but yeah, I mean an hour and a half since kind of the school run and all of that kind of gubbins. So yeah, been to the gym, and yep, come home, obviously, yep, just getting on with some videos. I've already done a video. Normally this would be my first video of the day and of the week, but I'd already done a video because I'm working on a little series at the moment, and I'd half filmed it yesterday and then I had to stop and take my son somewhere. So yeah, I just wanted to finish off what I had been doing yesterday. So yeah, I've already been filming this morning. So this is my second video. This is my flea market papers. Okay. Actually, I'm now thinking this way. Yeah, so wouldn't normally have filmed anything. What's the weather doing? Well, it's okay actually today. It's looking okay today. My gosh, the weather was foul at the weekend. It was literally disgusting. Yesterday, it just rained and rained and rained for like the whole day. Saturday, I'm trying to think. I don't think Saturday was as bad. It was raining, but it wasn't like yesterday, which was just diabolical, to be honest. So this is my flying tapestry papers. Yeah, so yeah, yesterday did not do anything much at all. So, and for everyone who's been, you know, inquiring and talking about the doggy, so yeah, we still have our lovely little doggy here with us. So, and if you know, don't watch my channel or haven't kind of watched recently, we are kind of trialing a little sausage dog at the moment. So she is my sister's dog. Yeah. And my sister had 3. I'm just kind of running through for people who haven't heard this story. So my sister had 3 of these sausage dogs, and they're, yeah, quite a handful, obviously, the 3 of them. So her and her husband got a divorce recently. Did I say flea market paper? Yeah. this is my English Country Garden paper. So yeah, they got a divorce, well, probably the year before last actually now, to be honest. Anyway, so yeah, they got a divorce. Obviously her husband, you know, he kind of still really misses the dog because, you know, obviously they were kind of his dogs as well. And I think this is from the Highgate Park principles. So yeah, he was really missing the dogs, and he had said to her, you know, can I have one of them? So she said yes. So he took one. However, he's had to now go somewhere for a couple of months. So he's now obviously not able to look after the dog. So, you know, my sister said about it, and we said, you know, you can't really put the dog now back in your home because that's really cruel, isn't it? To, like, you know, be making her think she's going back home again. This is the, I think these birdhouse principles. So yeah, and of course she agreed, you know. So yeah, we said we would kind of trial her really. And, you know, yeah, we, she's been with us, I think the day after Boxing Day she came to us. So, oh, I've lost track completely of where we are. But anyway, she's been with us a little while now. So, oh, she's so good. She's such a good girl. She's over now asleep in her bed. She had been kind of wandering around, which was throwing me slightly and making me a little bit chaotic earlier. But yeah, she's now laying down good as gold in her bed. So that's much better because it's quite hard to concentrate otherwise. And these are the, I think they're the pink Parisian papers. Yeah, anyway, she's laying down in her bed. She is being so cute, I have to say. Yep, we're all absolutely loving her. So yeah, we shall see. But yeah, it's all kind of going quite well. The only thing is, and I know I talked about this in another video, honestly, I didn't really realise how few places dogs are allowed in. I feel like dogs go everywhere. You know, kind of like I feel like I'm always seeing dogs in shops and in, you know, cafes and restaurants and what have you. You know, I feel like I'm always seeing them in there. But weirdly enough, since we've had her, it's quite shocking how many times I've been told off and told she's not allowed in here. So I had a lot of posting to do last week, still left over from my advent calendar series, because there's been a lot of strikes with the post office. And to give you an idea, when I went on holiday back in November, I posted a postcard. I think it was on the 16th of November. Do you know that just arrived on Thursday? So that's how long it's been taking for things to get to places. So yeah, I obviously have been struggling to get things posted. Anyway, I went to the post office last week and yeah, I took her in there, obviously. I had, you know, a lot of posting with me. And the lady said to me, oh, I'm really sorry, dogs can't come in here. I said, oh, I said, can she just come in today? I said, because she's quite new with us and I don't really want to leave her outside, you know, feeling anxious. And she said, oh, I'm really sorry, but you just can't, you know. So I just left the shop, obviously, and just, you know, I didn't want to tie her up outside because I thought she would feel nervous and horrible. So yeah, I had to go home, and then I had to wait for a couple of days until there would be someone at home to be able to actually kind of wait with her whilst I went to the post office. So yeah, it's kind of a bit annoying. And like I say, what's so strange is I feel like I'm always seeing dogs in places, you know. Now, I don't know whether I'm imagining that or what, but anyway, it turns out they can't go in many places at all still. And the other place that they can't go in, which I'm so gutted because, you know, my favourite place to go is Costa. And they can't go in Costa. Uh-oh, oh no. So, yeah, that's been a real shame, I have to say. So, yeah, a bit gutted about that one. Right, okay, so I've got all my squares now. Triangles, actually, but yeah, all my squares. So let's take those and let's fold up our kind of like mechanisms, shall we? So yeah, let's get them kind of like the folds all done, and then we might do like the punch in for the flaps, and then the inking and things, or coffee staining, you know, depending on what I'm going to be doing, I might just leave, and then I could do it, you know, I could even do it when I come to use them. To be honest, that would be fine to do that. So yeah, at least then I won't have to be doing that on video with you guys. So perhaps I'll just do that. But anyway, that's my formation of that one. Okey-dokey. Yeah, anyway, so I was a bit gutted that she can't go in, you know, quite a lot of places, but never mind. So have been walking her every single day. Now I have to say yesterday, like I said, the weather was so vile. So I did not walk her because I was like, oh, I do not want to go out in this. So yeah, my son took her out for a walk. On the whole, he has walked her in the evenings. I've walked her generally during the day. But yeah, he's walked her again kind of in the evenings. But yeah, yesterday she didn't get a walk until kind of much later, like in the evening / afternoon. Oh, I've just folded that flap. I forgot that I was doing those bits last, but anyway. Yeah, because it was just such horrible weather. You know, nobody really wanted to go out. So, yeah. But she is so cute. And on Saturday, it was my daughter's birthday. So my daughter, I got her a new bike. She really needed a new bike. She was very, you know, pimple on a parsnip on her other bike. So yeah, got her a new bike. And so Saturday day, she had some birthday, well, it was really Christmas money that my parents had given her for Christmas. You know, her grandparents had bought her something and then they gave her a little bit of money as well to spend in the sales. So yeah, we went into town and she biked, we all walked, and we took the dog with us. So yeah, she just then went, she just bought a couple of things with her money. And yeah, we took the dog with us, and obviously my sons both came with us as well, and they just had to stand outside all of the shops while she was going in. So I mean, luckily there's not many shops left these days, most of them have closed down. So yeah, it wasn't like a kind of full day's shopping trip or anything, but I mean it was quite a while we were out, which was probably the dog's longest outing, you know, since she's been with us. She must have been quite tired by the time we got home. And then oh, I've done it again, and folded that back down again. And then we went into Cafe Nero, so that's another sort of cafe. And yeah, dogs are allowed in there. So yeah, that's going to have to be our new kind of place, which is a shame because I have to say I don't like their hot chocolate as much as I like the hot chocolate in Costa. And on top of that, additionally, they are in the town and you have to pay for parking. Now we can walk to the town from our house, so we're very, very lucky. But obviously when it's raining and, you know, what have you, who wants to be walking? You want to just be able to park outside. And the Costa that I generally go to is a drive-through Costa. And normally, you know, I park up outside and obviously go in. But yeah, obviously now, you know, if we're taking the dog with us, we are going to have to start going to town and go to the Neros. So yeah, that's how that's going to have to be. That's fine. Just deciding which way around I want these. Yeah, so that's that. It was my sister's birthday on Thursday. And I know I did talk about this, but we were going on this bottomless supper thing. And I'm sure I did mention this in some of my favourite projects videos. So it's a kind of eat all that you like, and well, no, actually that's not true. It's a drink all that you like. It's not an eat all that you like. Drink all that you like thing. I mean, I don't drink, so you know that's a bit of a waste for me. But anyway, that's fine. And yeah, it was quite fun. So that was on Friday night. Now I was the designated driver. I hate driving at night, so I was a bit like, oh my goodness. So I did apologise to everyone when they got in the car and just said, oh, look, you know, just apologise now. I hate driving at night, so we're going to be crawling along, I'm afraid. You know, and I don't really drive at night very often, so I'm kind of out of practice. I can't really see anything, you know. Yeah, but anyway, everyone was fine. So, you know, I don't think many people like driving at night, to be honest. You know, and as you get older, you go out at night less, and so of course, you know, you get a bit sort of out of practice, don't you, from your driving at night experience. So anyway, that was that. Yeah, and it was all fine. I talked about the bougie theme that they were having. Now again, I talked about this and said I'd never heard of that. I didn't know what that was. Anyway, my sister was going kind of dressed up, so you know, we all had to kind of dress up a little bit. So yeah, luckily I had you know, a dress that I was able to kind of dress up, you know, with some jewellery and things like that. To say, I kind of squeezed myself into it, and yeah, it's quite a snug fit, and my zip broke, would you believe? So yeah, by the end of the night, luckily I'd worn a jacket, so I just kept my jacket on kept my jacket on to come home. But oh my goodness, how embarrassing. You know, like I was sat at the table and I thought, oh, this is really weird, my dress suddenly feels like strange. Yeah, it just felt suddenly peculiar. I mean, looser. Felt looser. Now, I'm not really a tight clothes kind of person particularly. So, you know, yeah, I'm not really that kind of used to wearing things that are very, very tight. So, anyway, I thought, oh, that's weird. It feels suddenly looser. I just thought I must have moved slightly and, you know, it must have kind of shifted the dress. No, it hadn't. The zip had broken right the way down the side of the dress. Like I say, thank goodness I had a jacket on. So, yeah, it was just hidden. But otherwise that could have been very embarrassing, because how would I have actually left the restaurant with the whole side of my body hanging out from the dress? Oh dear. Honestly, it just goes to show, you know, why bother? And it's horrible because, I mean, luckily that was at the end of the evening, obviously, after I had eaten a lot of food, you know. But yeah, isn't it horrible? Because then I just didn't want to be there. It was like, oh, I can't wait to go home, because I felt horrible. You know, you go out kind of thinking, oh, you know, my outfit looks really nice, and, you know, you're feeling good. And then when something like that happens, you're like, oh my goodness, I feel awful now. Just can't wait to get home. Ugh, you know, hope nobody notices, you know, hope my dress doesn't fall off. No, I mean, my dress wasn't likely to fall off, but, you know, yeah, just kind of ruins your evening, doesn't it? I mean, a bit like, you know, like if a heel of your shoe snaps off, that type of feeling. You know, of course, then you can't wait to get out of there, can you? Because it's like, oh my goodness, I now look awful. So, yeah, but anyway, we had a nice evening. So everybody did drink quite a lot, and of course they got very, very merry, you know, but they all had a really nice time. So, yeah, right, let's fold our flaps down. Yep, they all had a really nice time. I mean, they had a really nice time the night that we were there. The next day, I think they were suffering. I mean, I saw my sister the next day because she'd had to leave her car at my house. And then somebody else picked them up from my house, because otherwise they're, yeah, about another kind of 40-minute round trip to have dropped them back off. And of course it was then midnight, and I just thought, oh, there's no way that I can take them right the way home. So I said, well, someone's welcome to drive my car if they didn't want to drink. But that was fine. One of their husbands actually said, no, that's fine, I can come and pick you up. So yeah, he came and got them. Anyway, and yes, so I saw my sister the next day when she came and got her car, obviously, from my house. And, oh, she was not looking good. She was suffering a little bit. So I thought at that point, oh, thank goodness I just ate and didn't drink. But that being said, I was suffering because it was such a late night for me. Honestly, by the time I went to sleep, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. 1 o'clock. I mean, oh my goodness, I couldn't tell you the last time that I went to bed at 1 o'clock. I mean, yeah, not in any time that I can recall. Oh gosh, that's the postman. Hold on 2 seconds. Yeah, not in any time that I can recall. Sorry about that. But yes, so yeah, I was so tired, and needless to say, I did not go to the gym on Saturday or anything. You know, normally I go every day except for Sunday. I did not go on Saturday. I just slept in until I woke up. I think I woke up at like 5 to 8. So yeah, had a late night. And oh yeah, it throws you out. I was tired then for the whole day on Saturday. So yeah, but anyway, I'm sure it's you know, how boring, huh? How boring to get to that stage where you're just wiped out from a late night. Oh, honestly. Boring, boring. Right, let's bring these in. Now, how are we going to decorate these? So I've brought along some of my circle pieces because I thought these would look quite nice. Okay, now, ooh, thinking actually this this chair. So let's cut this out. So these are just my vintage circle pieces. Okay. Okie dokie. Like that. Okay. So yeah, that's quite pretty on there. So that's on the flea market. Or let me just see whether it might look pretty on another one. It's quite pretty on there as well. Or we could mix it up with, oh, quite pretty on that one. Or we could mix it up with, like, say the script. That's quite nice, isn't it? Or actually, could have this one on that script, I'm thinking. Or the brown. Let's try this one. Oh, this might look quite nice on here, actually. So, yeah, let's give this one a try. Okay. So thank you so much to everybody who commented on videos, you know, during my favourite projects revisited. I really hope that you all enjoyed the series. I mean, that's kind of the third time that I've done a series like that to, you know, start the new year. They're really quite good fun to do because, you know, and I know I talked about this during that series, but, you know, sometimes we do things, you know, during the course of the year and we really enjoy doing them. And then, to be honest, we never ever do them again. You know, and you just forget that you've even ever done them in the first place, you know. So actually to kind of like take the time and redo them, it was really nice. You know, I really enjoyed it. So yeah, thank you so much to those people who did take the time to comment. And, you know, thank you guys, you know, if you watched them anyway, the videos. And yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed them. I mean, hopefully there's lots of fun things coming up this year. So, like I say, I'm working on another series at the moment. So, yeah, hopefully that will be soon. Right, I'm thinking on here, actually. So, oh, actually, just before I go for that, I mean, it doesn't even look bad on the flying tapestry. But no, I'm going to put it on here. So, this is from the Hampton Heath printables. So, yeah, quite like it on there. Now, just thinking, got some pink lace here. Oh, that looks quite pretty, doesn't it? Let's just take a bit of this. Okay. So, yeah, I'm working on another series at the moment. So, yeah, that will be coming quite soon. And, yeah, lots of fun things planned for the course of the year. I've got a couple of kind of series that I've already pre-filmed. So, they will hopefully go up quite soon anyway. What else have I got? I'm hopefully going to do some more things, you know, like the build your own folio, because I know that lots of you did express an interest that you would really love to have got, you know, one of those build your own folio kits. And I mean, obviously I was very limited with supplies because I used those Ladybird books, which, you know, of course I only had, you know, a few of those. So I will be doing more of those types of series. Obviously, again, they're going to be limited in how many kits that I can do. Now, this is obviously partly because I have to buy all the things, you know, to make the kits. Now, A, I can't really afford to be obviously buying a lot of, you know, a large volume of stuff. B, you know, it's very risky because I don't want to kind of obviously buy a lot of things and then not really sell many, you know, and have obviously kind of then wasted all my money and be kind of stuck with stuff. So it's always very difficult. So they will be, again, like on a first come first served basis. But what I would say is, you know, if I do another one and you know, you still didn't get one, and you would like one, what we'll do is, you know, I can do more of those kinds of things. So if you don't get one this time around, you know, we can do some more coming up further down. You know, I mean, I could sort of start a waiting list. I mean, the problem is I would really like to try and get out of the waiting list thing generally, because I actually find it quite difficult, you know, when it comes to getting hold of people and things. You know, often people don't really come back to you, you know, and things like that. And so, you know, just to sell sort of one thing, you know, it can take like 3 weeks, because you might have to message a couple of people. You've got to obviously give them several days to reply. They don't reply, so then you'll message the next person, maybe they don't reply, you know, and it's, yeah, it's not that practical, to be honest. So the waiting list thing, just generally, I haven't really found to be, you know, brilliantly successful. I mean, absolutely, it's great, you know, when people do reply and, you know, they're happy and they would like the items, but, you know, when they don't reply and things, and it's then just quite a lot of wasting of time, really. You know, so yeah, probably the waiting list thing is not ideal. But what I will say is I am really going to try and hopefully get my sort of website properly launched like a shop soon. I'm kind of trying to work on something at the moment. Again, it's time dependent, and, you know, I'm kind of struggling, you know, with time. So, yeah, we'll kind of have to see how that goes. But I would love, love, love to be able to, you know, have a bit more of a kind of physical shop going on, that then, you know, hopefully people would really be able to get a lot of things anyway, you know, that I do use. So that's the plan generally. There we go. That's the plan generally, for this year anyway. So, you know, we'll just kind of see how it goes. But I can't really remember how I now got onto this. But anyway, oh, I think I was saying about, yeah, generally going to be a lot of generalies in this conversation, so I apologise for that. I'm going to try and, yeah, just have more fun and more series running. So that's that one. I mean, how absolutely gorgeous does that look? And then what you could do is obviously just put a paper clip to hold that closed. Let me just see if I've got a little paper clip here. Don't know what happened to my last one. Oh, goodness knows. Don't know where that's gone. Come on. Oh, I don't know. Right, okay. I've also got some bling here. Now, I'm trying not to use things that are too bulky, because when you open this out, obviously to journal on it, you want it quite flat. So the bling would bulk this out, as with this, you know, this little flower, to be honest, because they're kind of not flat embellishments. So it depends really whether you kind of mind having, you know, a little bit of bulk or not. But I mean, to be honest, it looks gorgeous anyway. You don't really even need the bling or anything like that. It looks pretty anyway, doesn't it? So yeah. Anyway, so I hope that you like them. Let's count up how many that we have done. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I feel like I've done another one. That's weird, isn't it? Oh yeah. 10, 11, 12. So we did 12. So I didn't do as well as the first one. I think first time around I did 14 of these. So I've either been waffling a lot more, or I've got slower at crafting. Could be either one of those things. But yeah, I really hope that you like them. They're just a gorgeous little piece, aren't they? So that's my paper clip. Pop that on there. Gorgeous little embellishment for your journals. And yeah, so quick and easy, and so quick and easy to then decorate. You know, they don't take any time at all to just kind of like, you know, just put a little kind of something on the flap, or, you know, a little bit of lace or something. So yeah, I really hope that you like them and have fun if you're going to make some. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.